Welcome back. It is Wednesday, April the 15th. As you can tell, we are in the high school hallway, and if you keep making your way down and take a left, you're going to enter the middle school hallway. And I just want to do a shout out to all the high school and the middle school teachers. Thank you for working hard and adjusting to make remote learning the best possible. I'm a former outcast brought into fellowship. As it says in 1 John chapter 1, verse 3, with the Father and with his Son, Jesus Christ, passionate to help you follow Jesus. And as always, let's get to it. The first 4 verses of 1 John chapter 1 serves as an introduction to the rest of the book of 1 John. There had been some false teachers teaching that Jesus didn't really become a human. And so the Apostle John is writing to battle this untruth and the doubt that came from it so that believers could have confidence and joy in their salvation. Today's reading is from 1 John chapter 1, verses 1 through 4, with the first 4 verses serving as an introduction to the entire book of 1 John. According to the first 4 verses, what do you think we are going to see? Okay, here we are, verses 1 through 4, and the answer to the question is that we are going to see truths from the life and the teachings of Jesus throughout the book of 1 John. The Apostle John talks about his firsthand eyewitness account of Jesus' life, and right there in verse 1, have heard, which we have seen with our eyes, which we have looked upon, and have touched with our hands concerning the word of life. And so John is going to proclaim who Jesus was and what he did and said, in essence, the gospel. And Jesus, who we just spent weeks reading about in the book of Mark, here in verse 1 and 2, he calls him the word of life. And in verse 2, the eternal life. So this is Jesus, his life on earth, his work, his teachings, the gospel, and this produces here fellowship. Now this fellowship is eternal life, which produces, down here, joy. I hope you are amazed at the eternal life that we have in and from Jesus Christ. I hope this passage has reminded you, and with the freshness of Easter, what a wonderful truth and treasure and joy our eternal life is. There's a man from Indiana who went to withdraw his stimulus money, and what he found was millions of dollars that the government had accidentally put into his account. And I'm sure at that moment, he was very, very happy, and his treasure and that money and that millions. But the reality of the truth is that our eternal life is so much more and worth so much more than any amount of money could be. And so I hope that your eternal life produces in you joy that helps those around you to follow Jesus Christ. And it's not a happiness that's based on circumstances. There's a lot of circumstances that you aren't necessarily happy with right now. You're stuck at home, you're dealing with loss and disappointment and waiting and maybe even loneliness. But this joy remains steady because it's not based on circumstances. It's based upon Jesus Christ, the word of life, the eternal life, and our living hope. Today we are praying for all the students who worked really hard in so many different categories but did not get to participate in the Fine Arts Tournament. We are praying for you for trust and contentment as you deal with disappointment. Today is a new day to follow Jesus right from home, and I hope you do that. I hope you carpe diem. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow.